Well, John Higgins has given himself a great chance of making the semi-final stage of this year's Premier League with a victory over Ding Junhui. Coming up, Ronnie O'Sullivan against Neil Robertson. Remember, it's all about finishing in the top 4 of the league. You can see the top 3 have already booked their place in the competition's finale. Now it's between Steve Davis and John Higgins for that all-important 4th spot. So coming next, a battle between 2 of the sport's brightest stars. Our MC John McDonald will introduce them in just a moment. The first player who will make his way down to the arena is the greatest player in the history of Australian snooker.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the action here at the Glades Arena, Kidderminster. ThePartyBets.com Premier League Snooker. 6th round brought to you live here on Sky Sports. All up against the shot clock. Referee Mr. Paul Collier. Time to meet our players. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Australia, it's the Cure Thunder from down under, Neil Robertson.
You won't be buying John Higgins a pint tonight because he's put you out of the running now as far as the getting in the playoffs is concerned, but still a lot to play for.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the great thing about this format is there's always an incentive to win every frame. Obviously, with the century breaks in every frame, you get a grand. So, but yeah, it's sort of just about getting off the bottom now. Obviously, I'll play Jimmy White next week, so yeah, it'd be good to get a win tonight to guarantee myself not finishing bottom, I suppose.
You're not going to be hanging around in these games, are you? Ronnie O'Sullivan, then Jimmy White. It's going to be pretty quick.
Yeah, definitely. I think tonight should be a cracking match. Like, I'm going to go for my shots as I always do, and Ronnie's going to go for his. So hopefully we both play really well and it'll be a fantastic match. Because
the pressure's off a little bit, maybe time to do a bit of entertaining as well.
Yeah, well, every time I'm winning a frame, I've been celebrating because that's all I've been winning every week. But yeah, hopefully I'll get a few on the board and I can make a couple of big breaks.
A quick word about Ronnie O'Sullivan. What do you admire about the way he plays the game?
Well, absolutely everything. He's one of the best safety players in the world. Just break building, potting, just absolutely everything about the game. He's absolute class, and yeah, hopefully he won't be too classy tonight, though.
We wish you well. Ladies and gentlemen, Neil Robertson. And Neil Robertson up against the most naturally gifted player in the sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is the 2-time champion of the world, the reigning and defending Premier League champion. He is the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan!
You get a good reception wherever you go, particularly in this part of the world, because you were born not far away from here, Ronnie, weren't you?
Yeah, I was born in Dudley, Worsley Hospital, so yeah, I've got relations up here and it's nice to be here.
Now, tell us about, in Northern Ireland, you had this incredible record-breaking run, 5 century breaks in 5 frames, a 147. That's what you dream about when you play this game, isn't it?
Well, it only won me 1 match. I didn't happen to go on to win a tournament, which is what you aim to do. So, although I had the 5 centuries in the 147, it was 1 good match, but still not good enough if you want to win titles, obviously. Now, I was watching you practice. You were practicing more left-handed than you were right-handed. Have you decided which one you're going to play with tonight? I'll see how it goes. Really? You haven't decided yet? Nah, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, well, we'll let you get on and see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ronnie O'Sullivan. He genuinely means that as well. Your commentators, once again, Mike Hallett and Clive Everton.
Whenever Ronnie O'Sullivan steps into the arena, there's an air of immense expectation.
Neil Robertson to break. Put the cameras away now, please.
But he will have every respect for his opponent, Neil Robertson, who won 2 world ranking titles last season, the Grand Prix and the Welsh Open, and beat O'Sullivan in the quarter-finals of both.
Well, I thought he got that one.
Certainly committed himself to the pot. No element of shot to nothing.
1.
Well, I'll be looking to open him straight away here. Bang. Good shot. Now, has he been lucky? I don't think so.
8.
Perhaps. Can you see the one to the middle, or is he just playing safe here? Actually, I think he's just clipping off this thread thin. That was unlucky, not to land on a red.
Neil Robertson, 8.
Neil Robertson has a date with the Snooker Writers Association on Sunday evening in London, when he's going to receive the Player of the Year award on the strength of his 2 world ranking titles last season.
Well, a little bit under strength there, and he's brought the red up the table. So a chance here for Neil Robertson. Red to the middle, down for the black. Couldn't take it.
Well, the worst part of that mistake is that it leaves O'Sullivan in round the black.
1.
Left himself a little straight on the black though here. He might be able to screw back and move the red off the side cushion. Left himself the one to the middle.
8. 9.
Didn't intend the kiss on the green, but there was a red still on to the left corner.
15. 16.
Nice nudge. He's overdone that one slightly. Played on the red to the right centre. Don't think there's anything there.
23.
Still played it. Oh, what a shot.
24.
He's playing the green here. don't think there's going to be many safety shots in this match, Clive.
Well, O'Sullivan has qualified for
27.
the playoffs. Robertson can't qualify.
28.
So O'Sullivan is in the mood to put on a show.
$35. 36.
And seeing him start like this, it is incredible that it's 31 months since O'Sullivan won a world ranking title.
43. 44.
He's won other tournaments. He won the Masters last season. He's won the Premier League playoffs twice. But in the long haul, which world ranking tournaments consist of,
51.
he's yet to hold up a trophy in that period.
52.
Yes, and not for the fact that Marco Fu played brilliantly against him in that evening session in the Grand Prix, he would have been lifting that one. But I know what you mean.
56.
Didn't like that one.
57.
Well, he'll absolutely hate that. He's such a perfectionist, and it really wasn't a difficult positional shot for a player of his ability, and his attempt at the yellow shows,
Sullivan, 57.
the depth of his frustration.
Say at the top of the show, we'll see how it goes. He's obviously in an attacking mood. Evidence there.
Well, it certainly wasn't the right shot, was it, Mike?
No. If he had to qualify, he wouldn't have played it, of course.
One.
Well, he's got the green to the middle. Can avoid the yellow as well. Oh, well, I said that. Should have done. It was a bad shot.
4. Neil Robertson, 4.
It's not one of his best either. Left this red on to the middle.
Wasn't that easy, but there was almost an air there that O'Sullivan has lost interest in this frame now that he can't make a century in it. And although it's £1,000 a frame, that means less to O'Sullivan, I believe, than some of the players. Only
6.
a couple of weeks ago, he signed deals in China worth £500,000 in endorsements for everything from clothes and watches to snooker tables.
7.
Well, I think
Neil
Neil thought he
Robertson,
got
7.
that, and so did we.
One.
I think Paul Collier will need his roller skates on tonight.
7. 8.
So with Robertson failing to exploit
11.
O'Sullivan's lack of interest in the proceedings, once he lost position
13.
on his opening run of 57, O'Sullivan has secured the opening frame.
16. 16 on the frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Ronnie O'Sullivan leads Neil Robertson by a frame to 0. Earlier this evening, John Higgins beat Ding Junhui by 4 frames to 2 to keep very much in contention for a place in the playoffs. Ronnie O'Sullivan has just won the opening frame against Neil Robertson.
Frame 2, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Left-handed break-off shot from O'Sullivan. He sometimes turns to the left-handed approach as an aid to focusing his concentration.
Trademark pop from Neil Robertson there. Lucky to see the cue ball finish on the side cushion.
Neil Robertson 1.
Well, if there's any substantial degree of difficulty in the shot, Robertson looks pretty unsure.
One.
Under hit that a little.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
And overcut that. Maybe still disappointed with his positional shot from his initial red.
Well, Neil not able to take advantage. Possible cross double to the left middle. It's not far away. Not far away. Oh, what a great shot. Well, it's hard enough to predict the bounce off the cushion at normal speed, but when you play it dead weight like that, that was an excellent shot.
8.
Just reached.
9.
Well, we'll see Ronnie go into the pack here. Just to hit the left-hand side of them. Well, nearly knocked the red into the middle, but it's okay now.
16.
I think he might be pushing Paul Collier out of the way here to spot these colours. These referees are a nuisance, aren't they? They get in the way, don't they? What's the matter with them? Get out of the way.
21. $22.
There's Paul Collier from
28.
Newport. Great guy, great referee.
$29.
O'Sullivan's average shot time only 12 seconds.
36. 37. 44.
I think we should make a rule, handicap Ronnie with a shot clock. 45 seconds for
45.
everybody else and 15 for Ronnie. What do you make? Would that be fair? Great stuff when he's flowing like this. He's got a red to the right corner here.
52.
Yes, he's also on for a century,
53.
which would be his 500th in competition.
$59. 60. 67. 68.
Might have a small side bet with you, Clive, to see if there's any timeouts taken in this match.
74. 75. 82.
Well, genius is not a word that I throw about,
83.
but it's certainly applicable to O'Sullivan.
That could be the awkward one. For the century. Well, what am I saying? Of course he can make the century without that. I'm thinking about the clearance. He's got a slight
90.
angle to nudge it here if he wishes. No.
91.
Oh, this has been immaculate.
$93.
We've said time
95.
and time again, once he puts it all together, he's a wonderful entertainer. No doubt about that.
98.
All great players can make the game look easy. O'Sullivan can make it look preposterously easy.
107. 113. Foul. 113. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
A break of 113. Ronnie O'Sullivan's 500th century in competition. Ronnie O'Sullivan reached the century in only 4 minutes 58 seconds in the last frame as he takes a 2-0 lead over Neil Robertson. Earlier this evening, John Higgins beat Ding Junhui by 4 frames to 2.
Frame 3. Neil Robertson to break.
Well, it was a potting attempt from tight on the rail.
White could be close to the corner here.
Foul. Neil on 4.
Well, there was an attempt on the left-hand side of the table. Neil's... I thought he was looking at that. No, he's not. He's just going to try and split a few of the reds, I think. Or is he playing off the red near the black to develop the black? John, acknowledged there from Ronnie. Huh. What can you say? I'll tell you what, Clive, if you took the white off the table, put it in the car park, you'd still pot one. Wanted to hit those a little thicker.
8. Nine.
Good angle on the yellow to get into the side of the pack. There's well, a red there available for him to the right of the pink if he wishes. I think he's playing the brown for that one. Left-handed.
13.
Great
14.
shot. Great control.
Well, his
21.
intention didn't fail through want of power, but not the intended split, even though one red will go.
22. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 22.
Yes, he was disappointed with his position, screwing back off the red, and I don't think really gave that very thin black his best attention.
One.
Chance for Neil then to put his first frame on the board.
Yes, and O'Sullivan and Robertson has got to fight against any feeling that he's here just as cannon fodder for O'Sullivan to play an exhibition.
Absolutely. They can knock him in as well when he gets going.
Yes, O'Sullivan psychologically dominates so many opponents because he makes it all look so easy
10.
that even a normally fluent player can feel a bit of a cart horse in comparison.
11. $17.
You can sometimes get embroiled in all that as well, can't you? You have to maintain your own tempo and your own discipline, not worried about what Ronnie's doing. You know, if he speeds up and makes a century in 4 minutes 58 seconds. Incredible stuff.
18.
Yes, it makes you wonder how on earth he made a 147 at the Crucible in 5 minutes 20 seconds.
Well, I think he stopped for a sandwich.
$24.
was wonderful, wasn't it?
25.
5 minutes 20 for a maximum. You know, let's just put that into perspective. 15 reds, 15 blacks, and all the colours. Pressure is on. Under 6 minutes. Under 5.5 minutes. Unbelievable.
31. $32.
Anyway, Robertson is just playing the balls at the moment and not the opponent, which is what you're always supposed to do, although it's sometimes very difficult.
39. $40.
Well, can we see 2 centuries in 2 frames?
46.
Possible 105 on here if he takes blacks. 104
47.
now. Can afford to take a couple of pinks here.
Neil Robertson, 47.
Shame about that. And he hasn't finished the frame either. Although the pink did stay in a position to cover the pocket. For what could have been O'Sullivan's red.
That's a good shot.
It was a very thoughtful shot from O'Sullivan, because leaving the cue ball tight on the rail at that angle meant that Robertson couldn't play a telling safety.
Well, Ronnie thought that went, so there wasn't much room there. Looked very tight, looking to put the red in the left-hand side of the pocket.
One.
Robertson has adopted a very good attitude here, and that attitude is O'Sullivan can do what he likes, but he,
Yeah,
Robertson,
won.
is just concentrating on winning £1,000 for the frame, and hopefully more than one frame.
Foul, miss. Neil Robertson, 4.
That might go back. Ronnie's not moving.
Yeah.
Better wait this time. Not to go around it though. Well played. was nicely worked out, but just needed a touch more on the cue ball. Has allowed Neil a chance at this red. Knocks a few of these in. Don't let me down. Nearly. Might play the cross double here to the left centre. We've had one of these already. Not this time. As you can see, Neil 34 the lead. 2 reds left, 43 on the table.
Yes, just a red in the colour would take Robertson past the post in this frame. Well, it was strange. Robertson was down to 3 seconds, but there were no bleeps.
In fact, he went over the time allocated, Clive, but it didn't beep. That's why Paul Collier couldn't say it was a foul. Just a little.
Five. Six.
This is a definite chance for 3-0.
9. 11. 14. 18.
So it looks like Neil still yet to get his first frame on the board.
23. 29.
Well, just a little bit low, but I shouldn't think he'll miss it. Nor has he. So, in only 33 minutes, Ronnie O'Sullivan has established a 3-0 lead. 33 minutes play required for Ronnie O'Sullivan to lead Neil Robertson 3-0. Earlier this evening, John Higgins beat Ding Junhui by 4 frames to 2.
Fourth frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Favouring the left-handed break off again. Well, was always cannoning the second ball, but figured If he managed to get that tricky cut back, he would be on the black.
1.
But I think we can say, without fear of contradiction, Mike, that O'Sullivan is playing a pretty open game.
Yeah, understatement of the year. Ooh, he's overcut that one as well. They're both at it.
Neil Robertson, 1.
What a good judge you are, Clive. So another chance for Ronnie then. It might go into them here and split them far and wide. I think there's still one to the right centre there, if we watch the replay.
8. Time out.
Well, Ronnie takes his first time out then.
He had to get it past the first red, and it was very debatable. Well, I doubt that he'd have played it if it wouldn't go, but it was very, very tight indeed.
Yeah, he's been lucky there because he's covered the middle pocket with the other red as Neil takes his first time out. And previously Ronnie was looking at this red to the right corner. That looks very tight indeed. But Ronnie might have got away with this. That one doesn't go, so I think he's got away with it. Good shot.
So, chance for Robertson, and a good one.
One.
Robertson didn't start the season at all well.
8.
Lost his opening match in the Shanghai Masters.
9.
Didn't qualify for the knockout stages of the Grand Prix, but got to the quarterfinals of the Northern Ireland Trophy last week before losing to Stephen Maguire, the ultimate winner. Oh, but he can't keep missing blacks off the
Neil
spot.
Robertson, 9.
Well, possibly a lack of table time. I think Ronnie might gobble these up though.
1.
A century here, Mike? Yes or no?
Wait till he's played this one. Yeah, go on then.
3. 4. 9.
Red to the middle, back to the black.
10.
Oh, they're all there. Well, that's the slightly awkward one.
17. 18. $25. 26. 33. 34. 41. 42.
Bounced again. A little hard off the side cushion. He's okay. Well, he's motoring again.
47. 48. 55.
Great shot.
56.
Nudged that red into the middle of the table. Made it a lot easier now. Huh, a ton of right on side on the cue ball there. Great shot.
61. 62.
'I know what you're thinking, Clive. I'm not on. I'm not on with the bet, okay? I should have put it on, I know.
69. 70.
Great stuff.
$76. 78.
103 available. If he clears.
81.
Normal service resumed then.
85.
We are watching a genius at work.
90. 96. 130.
Snooker was never meant to look that easy. A sublime clearance of 103 by Ronnie O'Sullivan increases his lead to 4-0. We've just seen a century in 4 minutes 53 seconds from Ronnie O'Sullivan. His earlier century was hanging out a bit, 4 minutes 58. He leads 4 frames to 0.
Frame 5. Neil Robertson to break.
Short of pace. Red is on. Don't be surprised if this goes in. Well, there's a fair way away from that. Well, there's the money so far this evening. Ronnie O'Sullivan has won £6,000, of course. 4 frames in 2 centuries. And, well, Neil yet to put his first money on the board. Cross double to the middle pocket.
Well, it would be a shame if Robertson left Kidderminster without earning a penny from his efforts this evening. But it is on the cards with O'Sullivan in the kind of form he's in. Yes, and just a very simple centuries. I think O'Sullivan fancies a 147.
Stop it. Why not? Okay, he's got 2 reds down the other end of the table. Look at that, points scored 365 against 93. Well, he'll go to split them here. 105 ball spot against 28. He's got them open. Is he on one? That's unlucky. The maximum will be difficult from there.
16, touching ball.
Our referee Paul Collier has declared a touching ball on that red. This is awkward. Great shot.
17.
I mean, we've seen prolific winners down the years.
21.
Clive, you know, with Ray Reardon, and
22.
Stephen Hendry, Steve Davis. Some wonderful players down the years, but we are privileged to be watching this, aren't we?
This is just sensational. There's no doubt about it that O'Sullivan's best is better than anybody else's, but it's sustaining it.
Well, Alex Higgins was wonderful
26.
to watch at his height as well, but not quite as controlled as this.
27.
And let's not forget, it was only a few years ago when he really got down on himself and was fed up with the game and thinking about packing it all in, and obviously we're all delighted that he didn't, and he's come back and playing some wonderful
31.
snooker.
Even now though, Mike, he's very, very hard to please. Even when he made 5 centuries and a best of 9 in Belfast last week, he didn't get excited about it. Just
39.
one match, that was his attitude.
40.
O'Sullivan aspires to play perfectly,
47.
and at times he comes very close.
Certainly does.
48.
And when he doesn't, he gets the hump with himself. But again, well, he's in amongst them here, and again, it's great stuff. It's just, you know, the panache,
55.
the way he goes around the table, and you know, it's just
56.
stroking them in. He's underhit that one slightly. He might have to go for the red nearest the
63.
green. Was it ever
64.
Still on course for another century.
Well, we talked about Ding Junhui avoiding the whitewash against John Higgins. This could be on the cards here against Ronnie.
69.
Red to the middle. Ooh, I thought he missed that for a minute.
70. 75. 76.
I'm bored now. It's got the red to the left centre. 433, 34 counting. What were we? 453 is record this evening so far for a century.
83.
No, he won't beat that.
84.
Close though. Oh, he's gone into 5 minutes here, Clive. I'm not having that.
91. 92.
'Don't know if the pink, sorry, the red goes past the pink to the middle. Obviously it will.
99.
What can you say?
100.
3 centuries in 4 frames.
106. 108.
Well, the people in Belfast last week, when they witnessed that 5 frames in 5 centuries, including the maximum, well, they were privileged. And this crowd here this evening are also privileged.
111.
Watching this, so are we. That's what they come out for.
115. 120. 12. Ronnie O'Sullivan 120, Robertson 6 for Ronnie O'Sullivan.
3 centuries in 4 frames. Just marvellous stuff from Ronnie O'Sullivan. He leads Neil Robertson down 5 frames to nil. Earlier this evening, John Higgins beat Ding Junhui 4-2.
The final frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
I guess there must be a reason that O'Sullivan likes to break off left-handed very often, but I've no idea what it is.
Well, look at that. Neil's last chance to put money on the board. He's had a difficult evening. He knows that he couldn't qualify, of course, in his last 2 matches, but it's been tough out there against Ronnie. Well played. Now, come on, Will. Let's have this last frame on the board.
1.
Did it slightly, but he's got the red to the left centre.
3.
Yeah, it's not as good as having it to the left corner, which was his intention.
Wow, well played though.
4.
Shot. Does he have a slight angle on the black here as we watch the replay? Come round off 2 cushions from this black and get on the red. He's got some angle.
11.
Red, I think. No, he's playing the one there. I thought he was taking the one down to the yellow pocket, but he might open 1 or 2 here, going through for the black. That's a great shot.
12. 19. 20.
Don't think we'll begrudge him a frame here, Clive, do you?
I don't think anybody here would. They've come to see O'Sullivan, and boy, have they seen him. But they've come to see both players, and it really would round off the evening very nicely if Robertson could make a century in this concluding frame.
Won't be too happy with that one, no. He's gone too far with the white. He played on the red to the middle. And, this is not easy from there. Well played.
28.
Now, is he on the pink? Or has he just gone too far? Still got the black. Well, he wasn't sure, was he? Glad to see it drop.
Yes, struggled it in.
35.
I think he gave it the eyes, he willed it in.
Time out.
Yes, Robertson has got timeouts in hand. He's going to give this attempt to make a century his best shot.
Oh, look at that. 5 frames played, only 3 timeouts taken. It's been the speed and the openness of the match, I should say.
$36.
Yeah, it would be great if Neil could finish the match off here with a century. Having to put the pink in behind its own spot there, line down the table. It's a tricky operation.
42.
Actually, it worked
43.
out okay because the pink goes. Might be able to free up the pink spot here. Well, a possible 140.
49.
But, Steve Davis at the top of the ladder there, 143. What a great evening's
50.
entertainment, Clive.
Yes, the opening match was an authentic contest. John Higgins desperately needing to win it to keep in contention for a place in the playoffs. This much more like an exhibition, and what an exhibition, with Ronnie O'Sullivan making 3 centuries in the last 4 frames.
57. $63. 64.
'So Robertson is at least going to go home
71.
with £1,000 for winning this frame. Oh. And with that outlandish fluke, he may go home with £2,000 if he goes on to make a century.
What do you mean, fluke? Totally planned that.
78. 79. 86. 87.
After being swamped for 5 frames, Robertson has shown considerable poise and self-assurance
93.
to take this frame in such a decisive
94.
fashion.
Well done. Well done, Neil Robertson. What an evening they've had. And us. It's been great.
$102.
This is 3 centuries in 3 frames. 2 from O'Sullivan, 1 from Robertson.
109. 111.
And 4 in 5 frames.
$114. 118.
Taking the scenic rather than the direct route.
Might be excess mileage on this cue ball after this break.
123.
Well, pick a pocket, any pocket here.
Foul. Neil Robertson 123.
And so ends a wonderful exhibition of the game. Ronnie O'Sullivan made 3 centuries in 4 frames. Neil Robertson made a break of 123 in the concluding frame. O'Sullivan wins by 5 frames to 1.